I eat a roast beef sandwich almost every day. With cheese, sauce, and mayo, it's called the three-way. Some like it rare, others well done. It doesn't matter just as long as you toast the bun. James River sauce is a must, but don't bother with tomato or lettuce. And if last night you drank too much, you'll feel better as soon as your lips touch.
Roasted beast! We're right across from Short Beach, behind the liquor store, at a house party.
Do you want a roast beef? Go to Sammy's, no doubt. Next question. Put everything on it, the best. Next question.
I like when it's just like a tender cut. I love a tender cut.
Do you get anything else with it, like sides or anything?
I usually get broccoli bites.
Roast beef sandwich. Roast beef sandwich.
Three-way right here.
Roast beef sandwich.
That little mayo action right there.
Roast beef sandwich.
It's oozing. It's like a glaze. It's like a teriyaki glaze. Look at that.
Your creed or your race. Guys eat beef and girls eat beef. Jocks eat beef and so do the geeks.
You got your roast beef sandwich, you got your police officer behind you, and you're all set. You got a place to sleep at night because they take you to jail.
How long have you been coming to this one for?
Probably like this one here. I've lived in Peabody for 50 years. So probably, I don't know, 45 years to this one.
Bill and Bob's Land and Sea Kings and Sammy's, Lynn House, Nick's and Giovanni's, Minos, Mike's, George's and Lundy's, Seaside Captains, just not Kelly's, 'cause they're too corporate. They forgot what's important. They're too shiny and clean and all. I much prefer a dirty old hole in the wall that serves a roast beef sandwich. Roast beef sandwich.
Boom, boom.
Roast beef sandwich. Roast beef sandwich.
That's good. Top 10, easily. Top 10.
I think of it as a working man sandwich, but it's everyone's food. It's just like pizza, you know. Everyone likes it.
Dirt bag,
There we go.
dirt bag.
Coming in hot with some fresh fucking content.
Wow, look
Big,
at that.
big content too. That thing's getting up there in views, Tim.
So, real quick, Rick, what exactly was that? You're working on some sort of a roast beef documentary.
So, Tim, as you know, I have many projects that I haven't finished. I went to film school in around 2009-10, and I had a couple ideas of films I wanted to do.
Okay.
And the roast beef documentary thing was like always there because even though I was in Florida at film school at the time, I always knew I wanted to do something about the roast beef sandwich. But you know, at the time in Florida and the whole Miami like graffiti thing and stuff, like I kind of wanted to do something based on that. But like the whole time I was going to film school, I was watching documentaries like every day, and it was just one of those thoughts in the back of my mind. It wasn't like necessarily in the forefront, but I was like, oh, like that's a story right there. You know what I mean?
Roast beef is a story. There's a story in every sandwich.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't until I got with my ex-girlfriend that I realized like so many people watch food videos. Like I never, like, so that was a thought, right? And it like stayed on the back burner for a long time. But then I realized how like, you know, this is before Action Bronson and all this other kind of food stuff. Like I didn't know how big like Guy Fieri was and like, you know, all these other like the other, what, Zimmerman? I can't, the weird guy.
Bourdain?
No, not Bourdain. I don't know. The big weird goofy guy. That's stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I didn't know all these food things had like huge followings. So like once I realized that, it made me want to do it like more. But the roast beef documentary idea has always been on the back burner. But luckily my friend John came to town in 2016 and we really got to get the ball rolling.
So real quick, I want to introduce our guest for the night, comedian, hip hop aficionado and or nerd, podcaster, a man of many titles, Greg Olsen.
Good guy, local guy.
Now, Greg, is it true that you actually have some material written about the roast beef sandwich?
I do actually have a joke that is about the roast beef sandwich.
Let's fucking hear it.
And it's funny because that joke only hits to a North Shore crowd.
Yeah, obviously.
You know how many times I've tried that joke out to where nobody laughs? But if I get like a nice, like, Revere, Lynn kind of crowd, it's golden. It's good material. I like the joke a lot, too.
So what's the joke?
What is
Can we get a little...
Come on, you can't fucking say it.
All right. So the joke is...
Come on, look at your crowd. Look at the crowd. Look at
all my people.
Yeah.
Look at
Those are all your fans waiting.
This might be the best comedy show that I've ever been a part of. Everyone is so amped up. I'm usually trying to touch the crowd. Now they're trying to touch me.
Definitely.
Probably trying to touch these nice titties, as you can see.
That's a hot little role reversal going on.
That's a hot tit.
Look at that.
It's also a hot tit.
But you know,
definitely a hot tit.
The joke is my wife called me up the other day and she said, "How would you like a three-way?" And I was like, "I'd fucking love one." And then the whole day, all I kept thinking about was having a three-way. So I pulled in the car, jumped out the car, ran into the house to find her and another woman in lingerie. I said, "What the fuck is she doing here?" I was expecting a roast beef sandwich. Little North Shore humor.
Yeah, good, clean fun.
Good.
Because I was expecting something different. You know?
It's, sex, roast beef, it all goes together.
Yeah, it does all go together.
Yeah, George Costanza in Seinfeld had the thing where he was having sex with multiple women while he was eating pastrami, which, as we all know, is the most sensual of the salted cured meats.
A lot of finger touching. You're going to work those spices in.
You got to hand rub those spices in.
That's the magic right there.
Definitely.
So, Rick, when can we expect the full-length roast beef documentary
Tim,
to hit the store?
That was a great question that you just came with, Tim. I got to give it to you. That was like a really, really good question.
It wasn't meant to be backsided or in any way. No, but as soon as it left, I'm like, what a dick.
No, I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't know. But my friend John has moved back closer to me, so really I have to take advantage of the situation, and because he's closer to me now and he's the guy I started it with, I think we really once things get back to semi-normal, we really got to jump into it. But it's just one of those things where he came to town and we did it, and then he came to town again and we filmed, and then we filmed one more time, and then we did a lot of other stuff in between then, I can't name names, but we did some other gigs and stuff in between then in New York City and other stuff. And, life just gets in the way sometimes, but he's passionate about it. I'm passionate about it. You like the idea. Other people like the idea. So it's definitely something I want to do. But, it's probably 1 out of 5 things that I really have to bang out and do. But it's definitely up there. And shout out to Dave Portnoy. Too, he kind of put the fire back in my ass, no homo, because he held up a roast beef shirt that I designed on his unboxing show, and that really put a new fire underneath me, because I want to get the documentary trailer that everybody just saw. I want to get that to him somehow, because I did send him some roast beef merchandise, but he didn't throw it on, because he throws on a lot of shit. So I'm actually going to print up a Bruins jersey with the roast beef on it and send it to him, and hopefully he'll throw it on.
Dude, he would.
And this time, too, I'm going to write him a nice note. I was in such a rush, I forgot to write him a note. I wanted to write him a note about, not only do we have the shirts, but we have a documentary, too. So, hopefully Portnoy will fuck with it.
Hopefully Portnoy.
Sorry for the F-bomb, Jason and Paul. I'm sorry for the F-bomb, but was that my first F-bomb?
Of the night, yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm going to try to keep it to 3.
Everybody knows that Tonzo is a fucking, just a janky, rugged person that's going to say, terrible things.
You got a potty mouth. You got a potty mouth and a potty face.
Yeah, I got a potty face. I got a toilet mouth and a fucking toilet persona to go along with it. So that's kind of the.
But you are a stand-up guy. You come through and you put up shelves and you paint walls and stuff. You
Tonzo
do
make
stuff.
shelf.
And you make studio.
Tonzo Make Studio. Tonzo Make TV show. So, like what we were talking about, like I didn't always do this glamour and glitz.
You look so funny saying that right now with the
Why are you ruining the moment, man?
Keep going. Continue, King.
So when I had met Rick, I was a notorious kind of blue collar guy. Just like shit bum all the time. I'd shower once a week, just rocking that blue collar fucking dirt on my face.
18 rack every night.
18 rack every night, just fucking doing things. Every time you saw me walking on the street, it was with the black plastic bag that was from the fucking liquor store. So I was doing things right. But Rick was fucking with movies and doing like all of this fucking technical shit that like I thought was like such a far cry, like that I would yeah.
Really, all you needed was a new computer.
Yeah, it would be nice to fucking shoot a video someday, and then fucking here we are, fucking 3 or 4 years later, fucking Tonzo Make Video,
Tonzo with Gronkowski, Tonzo with Bill Burr, Lenny Clark. I mean, I think that was fucking amazing that Lenny Clark was here, and then he went to Joe Rogan. I swear to God, I think it was the next day. Was it the next day?
And told the same stories that he told on our show.
Dude, he was here, and then he was there, and I was like, what? Come on now.
Big up to Lenny Clark. He's probably watching the show tonight.
That was a good episode. He did talk a lot about the old school scene and
he's
everything.
So good. He's so
great.
good.
He's fantastic. The fucking story about when Rodney Dangerfield was like in a rehab and like he had to eat clean. And fucking, he had Lenny Clark smuggle in a fucking pizza in a suitcase.
And he said that here, right?
Yeah, he said that here. That was fucking unbelievable.
Did Carlo bring up Ronnie to him, or did he just start talking about Ronnie?
He just started talking about him.
I remember, like, I was like, dude, this is some good shit for them right now. Sorry, that's my second swear. I'm one more, and then I'm gonna cut myself off. I swear.
That's all you get, Rick. Mm-hmm. All right, so one of our main discussion tonight. We're going to talk about some Boston hip-hop.
Whoa.
Some sweet Boston hip-hop.
Because as I was saying earlier, like, I'm approaching 33. Some guys haven't heard these songs. And, like, it's not the type of thing where, like, you're an idiot. You haven't heard these songs. Like, no, like, some people that are, like, younger or maybe weren't in tune at the time, I think they should hear these songs because on my way here, I was thinking, like, what if you're from Dakota, like, North Dakota? Or, like, what if you're from Mississippi or like one of these random ass states that never had a scene? Like, I still think it's pretty cool that like we can actually I can dig up 10 ones I like. He can, you can, like we can actually have a like catalog of shit to go through. Like, what if you're from like, you know what I mean, Wyoming or you know what I mean, Alabama or like what if you're from, you know what I mean? Because we're so close to New York that like there just had to be guys from here that did shit. You know,
and there was also. There's a lot of guys that I'll talk about throughout the course of the night of people that were not necessarily like mass residents, but they did so many shows in Massachusetts that they were like a part of like the Boston scene, kind of like guys like, just to mention a couple of quick names, like the Nonprofit, Sage Francis, Edon, Apathy, who's one of Greg's favorite white rappers.
He didn't make the top 20. Sorry, App. I do like that jam with Premier, though.
So real quick, Greg has a podcast called Monkey Bars. It's a hip-hop podcast, and we actually just recorded an episode previous to this. But on the episode that I heard, it was you talking about your top 20 white rappers.
Yes.
And real quick, maybe just see if you could run down your top 5.
Top 5? I forget how the list went, but number 1 was to Eminem, which was no argument. I didn't give him a lot of attention. I'm not really a stan fanboy or anything.
A stan boy?
I didn't talk too much about him. Number 2 I had in as Evidence. I don't think you can argue the amount of work that he's put in from Dilated Peoples to now where he's been with his own solo career, including the production. I think that 2 years ago he probably had one of the best hip-hop albums that it came out. It was very good. Because white rappers, to me, I don't know. I don't really hold them.
Evidence
too
is natural.
high.
He doesn't try too hard. That's the best thing about him. You know, he just seems like he's really doing what he wants to do.
He embraces the whole art through the production.
Yep.
And his rhyming has definitely got better to where the production that he puts into his songs and everything is gone like light years ahead from where he used to be.
I mean, he's Alchemist's stepbrother.
Yeah. For the
And it shows. He shows his
yeah.
Yeah.
So then I think I had it to the Beastie Boys. Then I think I gave it to Mac Miller, which is an oddball pick, but I think Mac Miller did a lot for artists like coming up as an independent and realizing that people could do this on their own.
Yeah, kind of that new wave of independent rapper type shit. Because like shit changes every couple of years. You know, the indie rapper like in the late '90s to the indie rapper, you know, in say like 2004 or 5 was two totally different fucking things. And then especially now in 2020, you know, with fucking multiple, you know, formats and platforms and just the fact that you have these fucking MCs that are dropping mixtapes every week for nothing. It's like before you'd get an album out of an artist like Nas like once every 3 years or something like that. And you felt like you were getting enough music from them. Now, like, people are getting they're getting like 20 mixtapes a year and they're still looking for more and more and more. You know, it's almost it's the oversaturation of the internet age, and that's definitely with SoundCloud MCs too.
Yeah.
You know, like just musicians in general. It's great that everybody has a place to get in. But like I said before, there's no rites of passage, where before it was like you had to get your song to get played on the radio to mean anything. And your song fucking will never get played on the radio in a million fucking years because there's only 12 songs that get played on the radio.
Yeah.
So it's just a totally different time.
Yeah, and I feel like Mac Miller had a very like real come up. Like he was with Static. I mean, it just shows he was with Static Selecta and Terminology very early on. So I feel like that was one of the best things for him to step outside of that, like, you know, wearing like little Nike skateboarding dunk weed rapper type guy to actually being like respected amongst like the New York circle of guys. And you know, like, because I didn't necessarily like gravitate towards the stuff at first, but then I was like, oh shit, he has a song with Static Selecta and Sean Price. Like then that drew me in, and then especially as of recently, like I was just saying to you, it got posted for like a day and then got taken offline, but he had stuff with Madlib, so like he was like, and you know, he had stuff with the group The Internet, which is like a really good instrumental group or whatever you want to call them, and stuff with Tyler the Creator and Schoolboy Q, and like I love a guy, you know, regardless of race, a guy who can just step in there and kind of is known for one thing, but then step in there and do all these different other types of sounds.
He was just a young kid who came out and he got the young masses behind him to where it was just like,
he could do whatever.
I don't fuck with this guy. But then as he matured into the artist, he started with fucking with more of like a hip hop base, where all of a sudden he started getting all this credibility in the hip hop community. I mean, his work with Ab Soul, they put him on, he was on the Prime album with Premier. Yeah. He did a lot of good work.
I think Static Selecta, honestly, like now that looking back, I think Static Selecta was like a big part of Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Like
he was in that early jump.
Yeah, because like
same thing for Action Bronson too.
Yeah,
you know,
like
Static had that album with Action, really at the beginning of his.
And it helps having Dante Ross in your corner early on too.
Yeah, well, that's a different conversation for a different podcast altogether.
No, what I'm saying, he came in kind of hot. Like that's a pretty good. Think about it. His first show in Boston, that was who booked the thing with him was Dante Ross. So
the one in the park where all the kids were there. It was like
the first, like one of the first shows he had in Boston that our boy Pete booked at Club Church. He booked Action Bronson, but Dante Ross was like, I think was the guy who like, you know, helped facilitate and book the whole show with our friend Pete.
Yeah,
because Mac Miller had that concert in Boston where it was like the free concert.
That's dope that you just said that, because I was telling Timmy, Big Tim, I was telling him that you know, the Government Center shows that you're talking about, was some of the best Boston shows, because I saw Slick Rick tear it down
Oh, yeah.
at Government Center. And I was telling Timmy he was wearing a custom Dickies suit. It was royal blue, which isn't that hard to find, but it had all lime green trim. So it had lime green on the sleeve and on the pocket and on the bottom. And he was definitely wearing a custom, like, tailored Dickies blue and lime green
Those
suit.
shows were dope. That was
Yeah.
when Menino was putting them on.
Yep,
And
yep. They would bring the mayor out.
Yeah.
They would bring him out.
Big Shug, I remember seeing Big Shug there. I believe I remember hearing EPMD once through like the crowd. And
Big
then,
Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane. Was Rakim not there at one point?
He might have been there, yeah.
I remember just being like, oh my God, it's the free hip hop show at.
Well,
it
because
was
now
great.
it's Boston Calling and probably costs $85 to get in. I don't know how much it is, but.
Well, of course, there's the wonderfully known fact of that Boston Calling started with almost all just Boston artists. And doesn't it make fucking sense? You would have a show called Boston Calling with Boston artists.
I don't want to.
And there was so many up and coming great artists, people that we know, people like Beerstronaut, Mo Pope, Tiger Man Woe. Fucking so many great like fucking people
And
that
then
have
they
been
slowly
instrumental to
started
the Boston
dwindling
music
it down. Like, I got to see Frank White. Like, it was cool. Frank White played before Run the Jewels, and like that was awesome because like I love Frank White, and he's like always been wicked cool to me. But it just sucks that like it's called Boston Calling, and it's completely not about Boston. Like, yeah, they book a couple guys here and there, and like I know like. It's not like a city like New York, so you can't have like Bostonians like the headliners, but it's like at least try to build these guys up. It's almost like they're just trying to do like a little like a
mini Coachella in fucking
you
Boston.
just took the words right out my mouth.
The guy from Boston's at like the back tent that nobody's there.
Work them up. Same thing with the graffiti
Stage
festival.
Z.
Same thing with the graffiti festival in Lynn. Like try to work the local guys up. Don't just book rock stars. Like book some big talent, but try to bring those guys up with it as you go throughout the years. And it's just like, Boston Calling, Eminem and Lana Del Rey. It's like, dude, really? Like, come on. But I could talk about that all day.
So we're going into Boston hip hop.
We're live at the Middle East.
We're live at the Middle East. We have tons of screaming fans.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
screaming fans all over the place.
Yeah, I like that guy. Is that guy throwing up a West Side?
Yeah, we got to turn up eventually we're going to turn up the volume on the crowd, but like right now we just want to hear us talk. But
Yeah, they're
the
just
crowd's
paused.
like going nuts.
They're paused in the moment.
Yeah.
They're just frozen in the moment.
We got them on pause till we
I did
wanna-
an old school 80s freeze frame.
I'm not gonna lie. That's exactly what it looked like when me and Rick were torching the stage in front with R.A. the Rugged Man.
Are you sure?
I'd say there was
I
probably
can't-
about half the people.
I think I probably bought a whole bottle of Jameson in with me, so I don't really remember that.
Oh no,
show,
you
though.
did.
I remember we took pictures with fans though after.
We did. I had a bunch of
We had
fucking
fans.
I had a bunch of like 18-year-old boys fucking like buy me fucking PBRs.
Did you have the glasses on? Because that would have done.
No,
me
I had,
no
I had
good.
the clown wig
Oh,
with a sleeveless fucking Puma jacket. I was fucking doing it. It was just energy and fucking Walmart.
And everything was new too. Like everything was new. Like I was talking to a new girl. I think I don't know if your new girl was there. But there was a lot of things happening. A lot of things.
Things were
developing.
happening. Things were moving.
Yeah, I had just been in Florida for a while, so I was back in Massachusetts, and it was easy because now, dude, even if like everything was open completely back up, I feel like it would still be hard for me and Tim to get people to come to a gig. But for whatever reason, we had a really good run for like 2 years, and the Italian Club helped us too. But we had a good run with some great DJ gigs and some great shows, and that shit was fun. And I wish we had more video footage of it, but we have some. And thank you, Jason.
Yep. Thank you, Jason, for what we shot. But yeah, you just try to put some smiles on people's faces. You try to get a couple of assholes moving.
Rap about roast beef.
Yeah.
Rap about roast beef. What's more North Shore than that?
Yeah.
I like it.
But so for me, like I was always into. Obviously, I'm not gonna front. I was super into white hip hop, or what was the equivalent of white hip hop when it first started. Obviously, Beastie Boys, into the Beastie Boys, and then Cypress Hill. They weren't white, but you know, it was kind
It
of
took some of us a while to,
to not be fucking totally stupid.
Yeah.
But and then House of Pain, like all that stuff for me, and then I started fucking like kind of like branching out more. And then obviously fucking like Ice Cube, fucking.
And I feel like I'm right at the cusp of age where anyone older than me never gave Eminem a chance. And I feel like everyone my age and younger all loved like, like Skeletons in My Closet and what, and then like before,
fuck that song.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but don't you feel like But don't you feel like I'm at the actual cusp of from here younger fucks with it, and from here over, right?
Yeah.
It's like any time that I say something bad about Eminem to a younger generation, they get all upset at me, and it's just like, how do you not like him? And it's like, dude, I liked him when he first came on the scene. Like we were listening to the High and Mighty earlier. Like his verse on the High and Mighty album is so fucking dope.
Outsiders.
Yeah.
I spray paint the blank subway.
Young Z's nice.
I don't know. He had some good shit with the Outsiders too.
And the first Bad Meets Evil, the fucking I'm the only man on the planet to drive off of Grand Canyon and a Grand Dam to hop out and land in a handstand. Any man left standing.
Scary movies.
Scary movies.
That were great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was, and like the first song that I heard from him was Just Don't Give a Fuck.
Yeah.
And that was at such a great time for me because, like I said, that was like in those dog days of 98, 99, where it was like all the guys that were like the great rappers that you liked in fucking, like 94 to 96 have just been shitting their pants for fucking 3 years, fucking putting out crap, and there was nowhere to go. And that was kind of like I had listened to Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs. I'd say probably in the Yo MTV rap days, and I had no fucking idea. Like I was so into rap and so into just learning who all these people were, and I was like, yo, these fucking guys are from Boston. I had no fucking clue, and then to kind of like delve deeper into it, and of course, it was a lot harder back then. There wasn't fucking the internet. Like you had to know somebody that knew someone. Yo, you ever hear of this group? You ever hear of these guys? Yeah. And fucking, I was just so into. There wasn't like any part of rap music that I didn't want everything to do with. I was just like, yeah. Like anything you got, like rare fucking tapes, like anything like that, and hearing hearing old fucking Scientific, hearing like Killer Tactics, and being like, these guys are from fucking Boston. It fucking blew my nuts off, and especially as somebody that was kind of like an aspiring MC, like I would rap in front of friends, but then being like, oh, it's not just like a New York thing. It's not just like a thing that's happening in one like place in the world. This is something that somebody like me can do. Yeah. Someone like anyone can do. Yeah. So it was kind of mad inspirational to see dudes that were fucking doing it. And doing it to a fucking really successful degree. Like, Ed O.G. was on he was on Rap City, he was on fucking Yo MTV Raps, played on all the fucking radio outlets. Yeah. Like,
he was signed to a major, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think
I forget what the label was.
But he was one of,
Yeah, man, that's the thing. Like, if I didn't meet my boy Rico and my boy Justin, like, I don't know how long it would have taken me to get put on to, like, the stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they played Boston, representing Mass, Boston. Like, they played that for me. They played Acrobatic for me. Like, they played Mr. Lift for me. They played all these things, like, I never heard before. Like, I was just coming from, like, hearing, like, a little bit of, like, 36 Chambers and like stuff like that. I really didn't know like much rap music at all. And then when they said these guys are from Boston and the songs were good, I was like, I love it. And then they brought me to a Mr. Lift, Aesop Rock, and like Hangar 18 show in Northampton, Mass. And that was the first hip hop show I ever went to, and I was like hooked. Like from there on, and everyone was smoking. I was like, like I probably hadn't even been smoking weed that long, and I was like, dude, you can smoke weed in here.
It was so nice when you could
awesome.
Smoke weed at shows.
Dude, I saw that show at the Paradise.
I was 17.
And it was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
I believe it was
the Perception.
It was the Bazooka Tooth.
Oh no!
show,
Okay,
wasn't it?
I didn't see Bazooka Tooth there, but I saw the Perceptionist live at Paradise, and like the Paradise was like, I don't know. I always like the Paradise a little, even though like Middle East cool. I don't know. I always like the Paradise a little more. The layout, the upstairs, the side angle, the other side. You know what I mean? I don't know. The little tunnel you walk in.
But like the Middle East for me was all about the culture of it. It was just like that was. Well,
it was like some 8 Mile shit.
I'm partial to it because that was the first like hip hop like venue that I went to.
Easy, give me that nut.
It had that.
That's
a bleed over from the other one.
That's a great fucking song. That's my third F-bomb, I think.
Yeah, that's the third one.
But like the Middle East had that like underground feel.
Yeah, because the ceiling.
You know, you're down in the basement.
Yep. It's hot.
The way it's low.
It's late.
The temperature of it.
It's all about being not on time too. It's always late.
That was one of the biggest things, and it was like, how many rap acts do you have to go through to get to the act that you want to see? They would always mix in all these local acts where you'd be like, that was painful. Yeah. but then you got to see a lot of people.
But some of them were good, though, because I remember seeing The Camp, and I remember seeing Terminology open for people, and I do remember seeing good people, but like you said, I also remember seeing a lot of filler, too. But some of that filler was actually really good stuff, too, like The Camp and Big D's and Terminology and other people, too. And Slane was probably opener at one point, too, right?
Yeah, he wasn't a while before he started being like a guy that could headline, you know, and get like the
because now he's a star.
St. Patty's Day shows.
Now he's a movie star,
pretty much. But another song from that, so Edo G, like Less Than Zero, that came out in '94. Raw Produce. Have you ever heard of these guys? This guy Cadence. He recently passed away. Absolute legend. The song Cycles. Obviously the sample is super familiar, but just this guy, this came out in '95, and this kind of fucking blew my nuts off.
Who's this again?
Raw Produce.
From Boston?
Yep. The rapper's name is Cadence, and I forget the name of the producer, but the beat's great.
No, I was living by the river, but I came upstream. I let off steam, and now I'm buying another one. I came up out of the valley.
You should light that Bad Larry up.
All right. Yeah, let's fucking smoke some weed about it. We're fucking going Boston hip-hop.
I'm just saying that 'cause I'm an addict. I'm keeping it with the Boston theme.
So this guy, this single originally came out on Tommy Boy. And I don't know what happened to it after that. But I think it was like 2004 or 5, they were able to re-release all their old material, and they had all shit from this time period from '95, and it was all gold.
It's got like a Souls of Mischief type of like sound.
Definitely.
Yes.
Where it's kind of like, this isn't an East Coast sound that you're listening to.
It's straightforward hip hop.
Yeah.
It's
something that I would definitely like picture coming out of the whole West Coast like Del Camp type thing.
Yeah, he had like and also like almost like a native tonguesy type of vibe to it. And
his flow's all right for
Cadence, another white guy. And this and one more song.
That guy was white?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, a lot of white rappers in Boston.
So this song is fucking one of my favorite fucking Boston oddball songs. I think this is like 96. Yeah, mid 90s, we'll call it. But it was these guys, Excalibur, which was Lord.
You're digging. I love it, dude. Because I never heard of any of this. I love it.
Some of the
you're
shit.
Digging.
This was before I even came.
Yeah, you're digging.
Started listening. Like Edo G, I knew. I went
you said Excalibur?
Excalibur, and this shit almost sounded kind of like Camp Low.
See how we live. This is it. What?
Lifestyle's been deranged. Eat, sleep, rhyme, and try to maintain. Got this game on lock. Hey, yo, the whole block's mine.
But like I heard like songs like this on 88.9, and was just like fucking. It just blew my mind that these guys were fucking like doing shit that I thought was super dope, and they were doing it down the fucking street from me. So once I finally fucking was of age to go to the Middle East and start going to fucking rap shows, like that shit like blew my mind. Like we said, just that whole experience of fucking going down the stairs and then walking through the doors,
getting patted down,
getting the pat down,
hiding a joint somewhere.
I had the joint tucked into the sock,
possibly getting your nose broken for taking one hit. Remember how bad they used to beat people up that smoked? Do you remember that?
Dude, the security was pretty hard.
I needed to tie my shoes, and I'd go down and fucking riff down like you just disappear down low and just start smoke pouring up.
I like that.
You just power hit.
I think I was too scared because I remember seeing dudes get beat the shit out of, like by the guys in the yellow fucking shirts. Yeah. Those guys in the yellow shirts, like that guy we were talking. I think I freestyled about him before.
Oh yeah,
the old Greek looking guy with the gray ponytail. Like, dude, no one wanted to fuck with that guy and his team.
No,
dude, wizard security. I think that was their shirts, right? Wizard security.
Oh yeah, like they all knew like fucking like Budokai. Like they were like fucking like all like highly trained.
Wait, who's Budokai?
It's a form of martial arts, Rick. Actually, it isn't, but I
sounded
made it
like
up.
someone who would be rapping with Q-Tip.
Definitely
Q-Tip featuring Budokai.
It definitely sounds.
Come on, and like Lord Jamar
featuring Q-Tip, Sadat X.
It's definitely a martial art for a white guy with a ponytail.
Oh yeah, Budokai is the guy that's like, pretty much doing karate in the garage.
Oh boy, so should we get into one of my favorites? So because you know more about this song than I do, I just know the song.
Let me get one more.
Yeah, get one.
While I'm kind of going on this journey of the early stuff.
Yeah, you got like that mid '90s boss.
So this song was from super promising MC from Lawrence, went by the name of Scientific. Crazy fucking story how like he put together this album and it had fucking like great producers, great features. The song we're gonna play is produced by the RZA featuring NOG, and it's fucking such a banger. And like everybody thought that this guy was the guy. Like this guy was gonna fucking. He had like Primo behind him. Everybody was behind him.
He died suddenly, right?
Yeah, he suddenly decided to blow his own brains out driving down the highway on fucking 495.
I knew he died. I didn't know he offed himself
with his family in the car.
Listen, we've all been on
wife
495, and if there was any fucking highway that I'd want to shoot myself on, it's 495, all right?
Jesus.
So was it at, like, the Lowell Connector?
Yeah, it had to have been.
Is that where he was, the fucking Lowell Connector?
The Lowell Connector is absolute dog shit.
He might have been, dude. Very well could have been.
Dude, it could have been the fucking Lowell the Connector loop.
But him, Scientific, they all used to give R.I.P. Scientific in the album covers, because I remember Crumb Snatcher had a big one, and then I believe even Primo, they would do like...
Yep. RZA. Great fucking RZA beat.
And this is Scientific?
Yep. And NOG. Edo. These are fucking great beats.
Yeah, it's
like,
dope.
Just hearing that, like, fucking being like, there's a dude that lives in Lawrence that's
with the RZA,
yeah. What year did this come out? Was this at the same? Did this?
I believe this was like 95, 96.
So
I want to say like 95.
About the same, a little after 36 Chambers.
Yep.
Because 91 and 92 shit still sounds like 1983 shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you get like to 93, you break that like bubble.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, yo, it's me rapping on the corner. On the corner.
All right, Rick, what do you got for him?
This was pretty much my introduction to Boston hip hop, I guess you could say.
Oh, Mr. Left.
I jumped out the porch, took the helmet off, said, "Mom, I'm not wearing my helmet anymore. I want to just ride around." Got my MP3 player, as you've seen. This is actually one of the songs that was on my RCA MP3 player that we played a couple shows ago. But yeah, this was my introduction to knowing that there was an actual scene here, and I love this song. And I got to see him perform it live with at a show in Northampton, and also Aesop Rock was there, and Hangar 18, a bunch of other people were there too. But that I saw him do this at the first time ever I saw a show, so I was hyped because I already knew this song too.
Greg, are you familiar with the works of Mr. Lift?
Yes. How can you not be? I mean, I could remember multiple shows. I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly what, but it was like any show that happened with any big name artists that came through the Middle East. It was like you were getting Mr. Lift as your opener, as like an acrobatic or something.
Yeah.
They were the guys to bring on the big name acts.
It was funny. There was an open mic that I went to at the Middle East upstairs. It was one of the first times I like rapped on like a real stage, and it was being hosted by Acrobatic and Fax One, and like SO like there was a bunch of people, Checkmark from the Schizophrenics in the audience, and I could see all these guys that I listened to for like 3 or 4 years looking at me on the stage and fucking like giving one of those and stuff, and like it was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe that there was like really well-known rappers like from Boston, because all I knew was like a little bit of underground stuff and what was popular at the time, Puff Daddy stuff and Biggie and all these things, and just knowing a little bit of Wu-Tang and a little bit of Mobb Deep. And then when my buddies Rico and Justin showed me that like, no, there's Mr. Lift, there's the Creators, there's Acrobatic, there's all these guys, I was like, wow, this stuff is good. It's just as good as this other stuff.
And there's nothing better than like finding out that you're passionate about something and then actually finding people that are like doing the same thing, especially where it's like such a niche.
Yeah.
Like not everybody's fucking, now things are different. The market's fucking oversaturated and everybody wants to be a rapper. Everybody wants to do this and that. But back then it was kind of like a rarity to see other dudes that were doing it and doing it to some degree of success. It was just such a new thing that everybody was learning from each other and fucking like.
And like I'm going into Acrobatic right now too. These guys were very approachable. Like, dude, they had no Hollywood about them. Like, I remember being in like Connecticut or Rhode Island seeing Acrobatic, and he left in a Hyundai. Dude, I swear to God, this is one of my favorite hip hop memories. He was leaving in a Hyundai, and the record, it was before Serato, so the records were so piled up in the back of the Hyundai. He had like a crate on his head like this, like coming from the back of the car, and like the Hyundai, there was snow outside, and I remember like the car was in reverse, and right before they went back into drive to pull out, like he just gave us the peace sign, but you could tell he was kind of uncomfortable because like there was mad records like in the car, and I was just like, dude, like I didn't even like know I would ever make beats or do DJ or anything, but I was just like, yo, like that's so hip hop, like, and like, it probably took me a long time to realize that, like, because at the time it was just a visual. But then, like, as I got older, I was like, yo, that's mad hip hop, because that Hyundai looked like it wasn't even gonna make it. Like, he probably had to drive back to Dorchester or like Roxbury or wherever he's from, you know what I mean? And we're in Connecticut or Rhode Island, and that car didn't even look like it was gonna make it like 2 exits away. So like, it was just like a really dope moment, because like he was just in the parking lot, just like taking off, like records all over the place in the car, and like it was just like these guys are like real guys. They're not like big Hollywood guys and shit,
I used to see him on the train all the time.
Yeah.
And it was like right at the time where he used to do those like the sports
wrap up.
Sports wrap up.
Yeah, that was on Jammin' 94.5, right?
Yeah. So every night he used to do one. Every day he did one.
So
that the morning show.
That was Acrobatic from On My Soul, and this is like another really good one. I think the Special Teams album with Slain, Ed OG, and Jason, I think that album, because they only have one album, right?
Yeah, only one album.
That album, I think this is my favorite Boston hip-hop album. And then again, too, I'm sure Timmy could show me some stuff I never heard. It might change my mind. But as far as stuff that I've heard, the Special Teams album is like some of my favorite stuff.
I definitely agree with you there, and this album being one of the best, because the production on this album.
They got Primo. Who else? Probably other people.
Yeah, it was with Duck Down. Yeah. So
Probably is PF Cutting in the mix? Oh, somebody's got to be in the mix.
Maybe they got like an Evil D beat or something at one point or something. But this album was one of the. It was so nicely done, and all three guys really meshed together to create such a good group because at the time they were all kind of like the kings of Boston hip hop in their own way.
I
love it.
Special Teams, that was almost like I kind of like fell off the bandwagon for a while. Like there was like certain things that like I kind of stopped listening to like a lot of Boston hip hop and went back into the instrumental shit like we were talking about earlier and stuff. But the Special Teams was almost that was probably like the cutoff. I never listened to it, but I went back and listened to it more. And it's like for the most part, it's fucking pretty banging.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we took a road trip recently, and like we ran through this whole album, and I didn't even find a song like we could skip, you know, like it was great. So now to bring it back up to present day a little bit, I like Millie's too, but I really like a lot of Michael Christmas's stuff, and this is one of my favorites by Michael Christmas, and I think he's not on Fool's Gold, but he's had some Fool's Gold projects and singles, but I think he's really good too.
Is he from local?
Yeah, he's from Boston, like Dorchester, Rockford.
Christmas? Yeah, because I know there was a huge movement behind him.
No, he's got this song bangs.
Yeah, this song does bang.
But just good, straightforward rap. It's nothing too gaudy. It's not too forced underground, like it's just him being himself. He's a fat dude, but he owns it, and I think he's dope.
Well, it took a while for the like honest type of hip hop to come out.
Yeah.
Because for a while it was almost like Boston, like the whole Boston underground hip hop scene. It was like they had to play catch up, so they were overcompensating.
Yeah.
Where there was almost like a genre of Boston rap that I refer to as body part rap. I'd say Mr. Liff, Esoteric, Virtuoso, all of those guys are all fucking body part rap because that was like kind of like it was battle rhymes, but it was kind of like fucking I'll rip out your clavicle, smash your Adam's apple at the grapple. Like it was all like medical terms.
They went really deep where like it was as Virtuoso. We used to rap really weird with like the whole.
And he's rapped terrible, dude. he's got a couple of really bad songs, but one of the let me get a song, Big Rick.
Yeah.
This is the worst because we're live, but I'm gonna have to take a diabetes break.
Yes,
I'm
all right.
Don't take the mic with you and trip.
No.
Yeah.
We'll keep this train moving.
Diabetes.
7L, Esoteric, and Virtuoso. Head swell.
I already like the beat though.
Your central ventricle.
7L.
Stab your Adam's apple with a pencil. Everything's fucking.
Produced by 7L.
Yeah.
Beast. Kid's a beast.
Always has been.
George is a beast.
The Paladin.
Didn't him and Realm have like a famous fight?
I never heard anything about that.
Touchy subjects.
I'd like to hear more about it.
I've heard things, Tim.
What do you know about it?
Sure, there was a fight, Timmy. Can't get into it until Jason comes.
Things was said.
And people fell down the stairs.
Things were said. People fell down the stairs. All right, so I was throwing a bunch of fucking oddball groups that Ricky doesn't know. And I'm going to throw out some more fucking oddball groups. Great fucking group of MCs from Rhode Island. And they were around for, I think, from like 98 to 2001, they were doing a lot of shit in the Boston area. And this is a lost album from that time that never saw the light of day. That has so many great fucking songs. These guys all rap great, and just like the beats are fantastic.
This is bluesy.
Whew.
It's like some Waylon Jennings.
With computer chips in the right fist, barcodes and devices, and scan the hand of a man that stands but is lifeless.
Like this is almost like some high road type of shit, like but like more smoothed out.
What's his name?
Clockworks is the name of the group.
Now after he moves to the front to make his transaction, he transmits his computer handship through a futuristic contraption, subtracting the credit from what's embedded under his skin, never realizing that his freedom is long
some fucking conspiracy theory raps, but like fucking just like a smooth beat. This is more of like a b-boy like type of song that they do, but like all the beats were fucking just like a tag of the times, just like fucking like working class fucking MCs from fucking Providence. And fucking these guys were killing shit in the fucking mid-90s and nobody had any fucking clue. But that was like, that was a lot of the style that you were getting during that time, like the super braggadocious battle raps, the fucking body part raps, like, and it got
gross. It got fucking gross.
It got gross.
I'm gonna say it got gross. Where to the point where people would be rapping bars, and you'd be like, "What the fuck did that guy just even say?" Like the medulla oblongata. Yeah.
So like, what did you just read a fucking surgery book and fucking write a couple of fucking rhymes?
Yeah, you got a thesaurus for Christmas. You got big words now.
So since before you played that one, I ended with Michael Christmas. Want to bring it up to another guy who's active right now, Millie's from Cambridge.
Okay,
he's had some really good freestyles on Sway. I haven't got into a lot of his album stuff, but he's had some really good appearances on Sway, and it was good stuff. He reminds me of the Philly guy, OT the Real, another really good white guy that's killing shit. But he reminds me of our version of him, kind of, I guess. I don't know. He's just good.
Anybody leader playing older Leah. I dated ducks, now my women look like Pia Mia. On the east side of Atlanta, bumping Bia. My man girl called my side chick and Kia Kia.
Knows him. They were like, "Oh, what do you think about Millie's?" Because I know he I don't know his album, but he did like a song with Jadakiss or something.
Yeah, he gets around. He gets around. Yeah, he's with Jadakiss. He's got songs with a lot of people, but this is a good one. Because I'm downloading my next one.
Because he cut me off every time I keep it real with him.
Styles P dropped an album the other day.
Shit, I got police following.
He's all about health, but he doesn't look so good these days. Like, he's all about juicing, but I saw a picture of him because he does cameos.
Yeah.
You can get like Styles P to be like,
"Oh yeah,
happy birthday, drink the juice." He just loves weed and juicing.
Who doesn't? How's that Wi-Fi working, Rick?
Good. I got the next song coming up. So that was Millie's. That's a freestyle by him on Sway's radio show.
Pretty sick.
He's good. He did some good stuff up there. But to bring it back to Gloucester right now, because I think that's where Crumb Snatcher resides. This is, I think, probably one of the, we were talking about it earlier, one of the Boston songs that probably got the most shine. Well, a song with a Boston guy on it that a lot of eyeballs and ears, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. It got a lot of attention.
This is Training Day soundtrack. Who did the beat? I wish I knew who did the Knots. I think maybe it sounds like Premier or something, but I think it might be Knots.
Yeah, Knots was one of the guys that was pretty odd.
Crumb Snatcher from Lawrence.
Wolves.
This one gotta just play for a second. I don't care if they flag us.
Any jam with MOP is just like rip your fucking arms off and beat somebody with them. I fucking love MOP.
But Crumb Snatch is like Inspector Deck. He's a great guy to set off a song.
Yeah,
a lot of attitude.
Yeah,
and nice guy, dude. I met him a couple times. A wicked nice guy, dude.
He was in jail for a long time. Locked up for a real long time.
Have you ever been to the Gloucester Fiesta?
No.
I met Crumb Snatcher for the first time at a DJ Premier show at Brighton Music Hall probably like 3 or 4 years ago. But the next night, can't remember, the next weekend, I saw him at the Gloucester Fiesta, and he was just gave me a big ass hug. I had only met him one more time, but you could tell he was a little buzzed. But he just, oh, what up? Gave me a big ass hug, and I was just like, man, this is Crumb Snatcher, like. But I want to get him on some me and Timmy's beats for sure.
Hell yeah.
I love this guy.
And do you have Closer to God?
No, because you said you had it.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do. I want to go right off of that.
That was his first.
This is way later because Training Day was probably what? 2004, 3, 2? I don't know. When was Training Day, you think? Early 2000s. This was probably this is definitely before.
It was way before.
Oh yeah, this was like
2001.
Training Day was 2001. Oh. Yeah, okay, so Closer to God was probably like fucking like 97.
Definitely before 2000.
It was
That makes sense. It was after Moment of Truth. Moment of Truth was 96.
Because when they had Moment of Truth was when like the Gangstar Foundation introduced you to Crumb Snatcher.
Yeah.
Because he had the verse from Moment of Truth.
And Moment of Truth was 96, so it would make sense.
And it's like while we're talking about like the whole Gangstar Foundation, because Guru originally resided here.
Yeah.
It's like you got to bring up Big Shug when you talk about the Boston scene.
No.
Big Shug's dope. I like Big Shug a lot.
I was definitely going to say, if we can't pull him up right now, we got to revisit the whole Boston thing and play some Big Shug because he definitely...
his verse on the Militia with Freddie Fox.
Yeah. I think we might have to play that one, Timmy.
Then one of the other favorites is from the Guru Jazzmatazz, Hey Ladies, that he does with him and Kool Keith.
Yep.
That song's dope, too. But he was one of those people that was able to get like a lot of premiere beats on a lot of his albums. But
no, it's fucking.
He's like a big poet type of guy. Like always gonna get like primo beats.
Another nice guy too. I met Big Shug in person, took his picture. Another nice guy, dude. Like a lot of these Boston guys, and like I said, Mr. Liff and Acrobatic, and like just wicked approachable. Like you know what I mean? Like I heard a lot of people talk about New York guys like being super unapproachable. Like I feel like the Boston guys are just hanging out right outside the Middle East and be like, "What's up?" You know?
Just trying to build the scene. I mean,
exactly.
how can you be a dickhead to like the people that are there without building a scene?
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the hardest things, probably because the spotlight was on New York. And Boston was putting out some like good music, but it was like trying to differentiate the fucking scenes that were happening.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, the one like we were to lead into, like the one of that bridged the two was Esoteric's The Soul's Purpose when he came out with Inspector Deck.
Is this Big Shug right here, right? Or is this
Big Shug right
here?
This
is Big Shug.
Yeah.
Another classic.
Oh yeah, great verse.
This ain't getting flagged.
No, it won't.
The real underground bangers never get flagged.
Oh yeah. Primo's a huge fan of fucking Dirt Bag.
These are dope though.
Primo's down with the fucking Dirt Bag crew.
Well, he posted the video I shot.
Okay. Things are moving.
Moving, Tim.
When the freaks come out, no doubt.
Okay. Since we're on Primo, I'm gonna sneak in one more, and then you guys can do whatever you want and take over. But this is definitely a guy who's put in a boatload of work, and I've seen him do this song live many times, and it's a good one. Definitely a Boston classic for sure. Terminology, Watch How It Go Down, produced by DJ Premier.
Yep.
But I seen him open for Wu-Tang. I seen Terminology put his work in.
Yeah,
sure.
we did a show. We opened up for him.
I don't think they liked what we did too much, but it was still cool.
He did.
It was still.
It's all good, man. I understand, Term.
It's all hip hop.
He had his Goya album release. I think Sean Price was there.
Yeah.
He worked with Sean Price.
No, he does his thing. He's always up at Shade 45 with Static Selector, but this is a classic. He's killing it right here.
All right. Yeah, the song's a bang bang.
He spazzed.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a good fucking preemie.
Yeah. He definitely, Premier gave him a slug.
Yeah, you gave him a fucking
He gave him
smacker.
a good bullet in the chamber.
And he referenced this Big Pun because there was a lot of comparisons because he was like Latino, and then the way that he rapped, like that fast pace.
I think he's still, like, definitely, yeah, like he was influenced by it, but I think he was still always his own, though. I don't think he, you know, what do you, you know? I think he was always his own.
Yeah, no, he was, The styles were a little different. I think the comparison they just made was just them both being like Latino.
Yeah.
In like lyrical.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely a banger. I think
Definitely a smacker.
I think I might be all out, Timmy.
He also did the album. I believe Terminology had an album with Little Fame from MOP as well. Didn't they put out an album together? There's some real good bangers on that.
I'm sneaking in one more. I don't care.
Is this No Ordinary Life?
I don't know. I don't know what time we're on right now, but this is one of my favorite records that I own because it's all black. The sleeve is black. The label is white, and it's written in Sharpie. The Creators, No Ordinary Love. You know, straight version, instrumental, but all written with marker. So you gotta come on.
I had a copy of that record.
And who was? Because Jason was definitely in the Creators, but who was in the Creators?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
I always knew Jason,
right?
because he was the guy that said his name in every song.
Yeah. I think Who to Trust is the flip side of it. I can't remember, but Who to Trust I think is another good one. But this is a good one.
I know the fucking Immortal Technique used the same sample, which is from the Scarface movie. Peruvian Cocaine.
Yep.
With C-Ray's Walls on it.
Yeah.
That song's a fucking bang bang too.
These they got some good shit too.
Dude, definitely the Creators fucking that album with the fucking boxing gloves that Dropkick Murphys basically stole the fucking cover from. Fucking was a great album. The first Creators. I think it was a self-titled album.
We were talking right after they did that like NOG Benzino Instagram battle. We were messaging back and forth about the almighty RSO.
Oh yeah,
that's a fucking Boston group that's classic.
You still got some more in the hole, Timmy?
But they pulled that album, right? Because of samples? Because you can't find it.
Well, there was the first song, actually, this shit was on Tommy Boy, and then it ended up on fucking, the full-length album ended on Rap-A-Lot, and they got fucking murked for samples. But this shit was on, like, Rap City, and it was, like, super controversial.
And who's this again?
Almighty RSO. It was, Benzino.
They went on to become Made Men after the RSO.
Yeah, it was Benzino. Well, Tony Rome.
I already like the beat.
Oh yeah, this
so like the thing about the RSO is like Benzino already had his hand with the Source magazine with the guy where there was the money. So the Almighty RSO album, they got so many guest appearances on the. Did they have Scarface was on Almighty RSO?
Oh yeah,
they had the MOP Cocoa Brothers Jam.
Yeah, which is a fucking banger.
And they also had like 8 Ball and MJG, I think, was on it too.
Yep, Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
I gotta visit that then.
Yeah, their first album was really good. It's fucking. You can find it on YouTube. Somebody has a fucking bootleggy on that.
Yeah, and then they transformed into Made Men.
Well, the guy rapping now, Tony Rome, he quit the group, or I actually think he got fucking tossed in the can. I think he spent some time in the can, and he sounds like fucking the type of dude that would.
Yeah, because if there's a hardcore, if we're talking about like the hardest Boston group, it's definitely probably like Made Men RSO. No Paul Pierce.
But one of the guys,
Benzino just has that look. Like he looks like he looks like a rugged motherfucker.
Yeah, he's got that Lawrence look, that Lawrence regular.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Just something. He don't look like a pretty boy. Even if he's pretty with some glasses like that and stuff, like he still looks like he'll get down.
He in the Instagram feed with NOG, he was like 50 years old, chiseled as a motherfucker, still angry. Where like he's like,
"That beat's hard, Ed. That beat's hard."
That was a lot. It was never his verse.
Yeah,
it was never his verse. It was never his verse.
That's funny.
So another guy that kind of stood out for me that was like not really a Boston guy. I think he maybe spent some time in Cambridge, but he was more of like a Connecticut, New York type of guy that just like came to Boston a lot. Was E. Don, and fucking they did a compilation like a Boston compilation, and this song was on it.
And he's still active.
He's still active. This song absolutely fucking smacks.
This song. Yes.
Like a cab through Brooklyn.
And he produced this too?
Yep.
Yeah, this song's dirty. I remember this shit right now.
Always got that relevant rhyme. This adrenaline time, the cardiac is party back. All hail the silver dome, home like a Pontiac. Hard beat, great fucking rap voice.
Yeah, he does have a great voice.
The greatest historical puzzles of all time are directly comparable to the struggles inside the mind of the righteous. I'm on that list with clenched fists.
He's from Boston?
He spent a lot of time performing in Boston.
With Liv and Def Jugs.
He was at a lot of the Middle East, like Western Front shows.
Yeah, because Liff went on to become a member of Def Jux. Right?
Yep.
And his album, fucking I Phantom on Def Jux, which was essentially
that was probably one of the biggest. Like Liv must have been one of the biggest. Like, was Company Flow on Def Jux too? Because I don't know all my shit. Like,
yeah, well,
when it comes to specifics like that.
Well, the first, as Greg would put it, ELP album. I listened to his podcast. He did a podcast on white rappers, and so like, I have to ask you: did you do it to be an asshole, or do you not know that it's LP?
It's LP, but every time I say his name, I
already like this guy. I already like this guy.
To be honest,
I want him to be in the group.
To be honest with you,
I already like this guy.
I'm not a fucking fan of him, so I don't really care how I pronounce his name.
Yes.
I don't really care. Like,
ladies and gentlemen,
to me, that whole
Greg Olsen.
Yeah, that whole like Run the Jewels thing is not for me. That's for like suburban white kids who that's their definition of.
Definitely not Revere. It's not for Revere.
No, it's like oh, I listen to rap. Oh, I like Run the Jewels, and it's just like oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Like some of the beats are cool.
Yeah,
it's
almost like fucking. It's like a hip hop hipster start
fusion thing. Yeah, fusion thing.
Yeah, it's not. It's not for me. Not for me at all.
Yeah.
So that would explain why I don't really care about pronouncing his name right. Plus, he's not really listening to it. He's not here to hit me up on Twitter.
You never know. Dirt Bag is where alive.
If he did, I'd just tell him to fuck off. Probably. Yeah.
What do we got here? What's this?
This is some porn theater rushers.
Naba Rock and Mr.
Jason. This verse is fucking hilarious.
Turn that bad Larry up.
Alright.
Naba Rock he definitely did a lot of work with a lot of local people.
And he was funny too. He was like a good enough rapper.
I already like the beat.
Play me in the winter, play me in the summer,
Ooh.
play me in the order.
Any order.
Play me in the winter,
play me in the summer,
play me in the order.
Now, I went to your house and fucked up the place.
Busting nuts inside the pillowcase.
Banged your moms, and then the babysitter sat on the couch and ate an apple fritter.
This probably could have made the raunchy out, you know? Podcast. I like it. He's fucking her mom and shit.
He's going in.
Anytime anybody's fucking somebody's mom, I'm in.
She gives me a wink and always bends over. Day to day, she's at my door like Jehovah.
Okay.
It's just me. I need no assistance. I just sit back and let my mind run the distance. I'm
Nabo fucking rocks.
With a dope slap.
It's coming in hot.
Crabs don't know me and bite my words. See me in the street as just another nerd, but my records are.
I like it. It's no backup vocal. It's just one vocal track.
That's fucking pure rap right there.
I got 4 eyes to blur your third.
It's almost like a video game, like Tweak the beat.
Yeah.
You know?
And who am I? Well, I move the masses. Here's the live guy with glasses.
Live guy with
Good
glasses.
samples,
Yeah.
like just like a.
And well, Annie wears glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play me in the summer. Play me in the
Where's that vocal sample from? The girl.
I like
dope. Yeah.
Anytime you can add like a girl with that type of voice in a rap song, I fucking love it. Like the ad lib to a rap song, that's like some of my favorite.
Thurston
shit.
Howell is actually a big fan of what you just said. Always adding a female presence, whether it's up in the mix or whether it's down in the mix. You know what I mean? Always adding that.
Yeah, just having it there.
Yeah, having it there.
I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
What's this?
This is from a group, I believe this was 95, Top Choice Click. And they were from Boston.
I was going to say, don't say they're from Lawrence, too. Because then I'll flip my shit.
This song's a fucking smacker.
You're fucking digging them up. I love it.
Yeah, this is going in the crates.
Yeah.
I'm like fucking 14 when this shit came out.
This song's hard.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I like it a little.
Okay.
Timmy coming out with the fucking bangers.
I like that. I like that beat.
It's great fucking...
Sorry, for a slow person, can you say the artist and song name one more time?
So the artist is Top Choice Click, and the song name is Pushing Past Red.
I'm gonna have to look
But
that
they had a couple of fucking bangers. It was the white guy and two black guys and fucking...
You know what's funny? I already forgot the name again.
Top Choice Click.
I didn't want you to repeat it. I was just speaking my dumbness
say
out
it
loud.
again,
I was
just
speaking
in
my
case-
dumbness out loud.
Just in case people want to hear it.
Oh
you
no,
know?
Tim, I watched the show after. I watched the show and I clicked like. I put some likes on it.
I'm glad you do, Rick.
Oh yeah. I do shit.
I think one of the guys that's still doing it, I was talking to him earlier about being a Lynn resident, was Tragic Allies, SD Knack, who is huge in the underground scene that's coming up right now.
Well, he's been getting around because doesn't he have a song West Side Gun?
He did the West Side Gun.
Yeah.
It was Banana
really?
Yacht, I think, where it's just mostly him. I went to the Griselda show at the Paradise, and they brought him out.
That's dope.
And he fucking did it in the hometown. He's got a
dope.
video of it. It was dope. He does a lot of work. Another guy that's out of Lawrence right now, Al Davino, who did a lot of work with the Dump God, with like the God Fahim, looking up with him. There's a huge like underground movement that's coming through right now that it's fucking dope, like street rap.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot. And SD Knack, right? They call it Knack Man.
Yeah.
To me, he's really fucking good. Like he's
There's a couple
I haven't
guys
given them a chance.
Yeah, there's a couple guys from Springfield. Like I feel so dumb not mentioning their names right now because I can't remember. Because I've seen a couple really good guys from Springfield on with this rapper I really like, who I have a song coming out with, OT the Real from Philly. But when I saw him pop up on Lord Sear and other like Shade 45 things, he was with some really good guys from Springfield. Yeah. So like it is dope that like you got all these little pocket, like Mass is already a small state, but there's like these little pockets of guys that like are still like, you know, making noise and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
he's got he did some like Knackman did some shit with Planet Asia. 'Cause Planet Asia's like realigned himself with 38 Special. They're putting out, it's really good. It's in like he's able to hold his own with Planet Asia. Who Planet Asia's like
He's
been a
good. No, he's good.
long time.
Another guy we didn't. I think we talked about him, but we didn't play him.
At one time I thought of giving him
The Rex DJ
Oh, yeah.
Premier.
Oh, the 25th hour.
25th hour.
Rex has a limited edition 3-way shirt, and he posted a picture with it.
Okay. Limited edition Rick wear, huh?
It's on his Instagram.
No shit.
Yeah, it's over there. He hustled me for it, but you know I had to give it to a legend. What are you gonna do? You know, what am I gonna act crazy over a $3 T-shirt?
What, he was trying to get it for nothing?
No, he was like, "What you got over there?" Because I was just like, you know, slanging shirts, and I was like, "It's got some shirts," and he liked. I had splattered. It was just a 3-ways tag, but it was one of those ones where I splattered like 3 different colors on the screen and then printed it. So you kind of get that little like tie dye, whatever multicolor look, and he liked it, and I just gave it to him. I didn't think anything of it, and then people tagged me on his Instagram. Or like a couple weeks later, he wore it in the studio or whatever. So. Cool. It's cool when somebody wears it, you know what I mean, or uses it, or whatever they, if it's a beat, they use it. If it's a shirt, they wear it. It's just cool seeing it get used because like it'd probably get lost in my trunks or something.
Yep. Keeping the culture alive, Rick, huh?
The trunk mentality, which is a very lost art, Timothy. Actually, the whole out the trunk thing is very, like you look at old pictures of Thurston Howell, and if there was no table, like he set up his things on the ground. You know what I mean? Like the CDs across the ground, the shirts across the ground. Like fuck it, you don't need a table. Like the whole out the trunk thing is like completely gone.
That's
aspect.
fucking like almost Florida style.
Yeah.
You go to fucking like flea markets and shit. No motherfuckers have tables. They just have a car fucking parked and just everything spread out on the ground. And they're just fucking standing there looking over evereverying.
Actually, because I was gonna say, what the Linway didn't have, but the Linway was doing a lot of ground stuff too. Because I was about to say, but the Linway Flea Market, they had a lot of ground stuff going too. Definitely a lot of stuff on tables, but a lot of stuff on the ground too.
Yeah, now it's all table life. There's a little ground stuff.
Hey, Linway, you don't need to get your shit up off the ground.
Yeah. Hey, is the Linway Flea Market even gonna make it out of quarantine? Are they gonna make it, Tim?
No, they're not.
Because there were supposed to be condos there one day.
I think the worst thing that I'm having with this whole quarantine is that the carnival at the Revere Showcase didn't come around this year.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on it.
That's always the biggest shit show.
It's usually snowing.
Didn't someone get bucked at over there?
Yeah, someone did get shot or something like that.
That was a good year.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, we got to run through some Boston classics. I think we're gonna have to revisit some at some point.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Definitely gonna have to we should try to mix, pre-record and mix some stuff too.
Yeah, maybe we can do a fucking
I definitely want to do some DJ sets, all types of stuff. But yeah, we solid Boston DJ sets.
Coxall, yeah, we owe it to the culture, Rick.
The same stuff you chose and the same stuff I chose. Put together a nice list. We can have him live commentate on it.
Yeah,
and we'll do some Boston playlist stuff.
Things are moving.
Things are moving and grooving.
What else we got tonight, Rick?
I don't know, Tim. You boggled my mind right now because I don't remember anything.
Well, were we... I put you right on the fucking spot. Were we going to bust out a little a live instrumentation and then kind of wrap this thing up?
Big Timmy, you are right. See, I wasn't even thinking, and I got all my shit unorganized, and I forgot even which one you wanted. But you know what? It's this one labeled...
You fucking shitbag.
Listen to this file name. This is the worst file name ever. Raw file _ right? So you already know it's like something that got mislabeled. Raw file _ 00000. That's the name of the file.
Dope file name, Rick. Way to keep things simple and organized for workflow purposes.
Timmy, hit him with that. Hit him with how. Tell him how you feel via your fingers. So this is how all my beats go. I make loops. I put a little drum loop to it. It stays unfinished. And then somebody like Timmy or Jabberjaw has to finish it. And then you get this. Yo. Timmy hit the bass and we're live on stage. Middle East and we got a whole crowd with the lights going on and Greg Olsen. And he got a Sean Price shirt on and I ain't holding. Yeah, that means I got no more weed left. Yeah, and I'm checking with the weed breath. Yeah, I said I'm talking with the weed breath. Yo, like I had a shot of espresso and didn't brush my teeth. It's Big Rick coming off the fucking bleach. Coming off the bleachers, coming out the dugout. What you think? I got it all thunked out. In the spot, all drunked out. Looking at the moths and I'm looking at the bugs and I'm looking at the nerds and I'm looking at the thugs. Bring it back to the main loop. Had a lot to eat and I'm trying to take my main poop. Timmy tapping on the white keys, tapping on the black keys. Shit, I wish I had yellow keys. American flag in the background, it's red, white, and blue with a couple of stars. We've been to a couple of bars, some of them dives and some of them fancy. Yo, looking at me like I'm Tom Clancy. I don't know who that shit is. WD-40 on my chain wheel. Motherfuckers ain't in my fucking brain wheel. Like a hamster running in the wheel, going in the same place. It's Ricky with the same face, Ricky in the same place, yo. The doorknob got Vaseline on it, can't open it, coping with the motherfucking dope I be smoking, kid. You could put it in the bong, you could put it in the pipe, you could take ecstasy, you could dance all night, right? Yo, shit, give me a Sprite and give me some lean and give me some pills and give me a dream. Yo, I take it all down through the same fucking tube. Timmy on the keyboard with no fucking lube. I wish it had some gel for his hair and some new curls for a new perm so we could look like DJ Quick on a motherfucking live show. And I don't even know, Timmy about to go real low, with the bass shit. Yeah, I ran out of raps, man. I don't like to keep going because sometimes I say stuff I don't really like. And I like to end strong, you know? It's like when you work out and you only have 3 left and you're like, 1, 2, 3, and you don't want to start another set. So Tindy's fingers are just going to speak for the rest of the show. Big Tim on the keys, a.k.a. Zeke's Cavarici. Zeke's, that's Z-E-K-E, but I said Zeke's. BC Onyx coming soon. Foot pedicure product reviews coming soon. More shows live at the Middle East, sold out, coming soon. Ariana Grande collab coming soon.
Mac Miller tribute project coming soon.
All types of stuff, crazy stuff, wild stuff.
Wow.
All types of stuff.
That was such a nice little payoff for having to set up 72 pieces of equipment for a podcast.
Hey, this is how we do it, Tim.
But hey, you know, like I said last week, you know, we did kind of like a Stouffer's, like a lasagna. This is almost like a quick takeout, you know, like just like a quick little hit. You got what you needed. You got some dope Ricky raps. You got Tonzolini hunching over a keyboard. I think you got all the appropriate notes that you needed. You had Greg Olsen during the show. You had Boston hip hop. I think we covered all the bases.
We gave you guys a good playlist to start off of. We didn't give you like the whole like party, but we gave you a good starting point to make you a nice Boston playlist that you can carry throughout your day on one of these days when you might be wanting to clean and organize things.
And I'll tell you what, if you follow Dirt Bag Boyz on YouTube, I will post in this episode, I will put together a nice Spotify playlist.
Ooh.
Of all the songs that we played
so
tonight.
that would include a link?
I like it.
Yeah,
link of some sort?
Yeah, I'll put it right in the file. So if you watch this, maybe tomorrow, it could happen. Things are fucking moving, you know?
Let's do it.
That's a lot of work.
Let's sign them up.
That's a lot of work.
All right, well, Greg Olsen,
Yeah.
do you have anything that you want to plug?
Nothing really. I mean, just my podcast, Monkey Bars, the podcast.
Where can people get it?
Everywhere, really. It just came out like Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. It's still in the works. Every episode's getting better, you know?
All
I
right.
really like where it's going. And we'll see what the future brings.
We'll do it, man. Dirtbag will help you along the way.
I like it. I like this collaboration.
We're doing it. Hey, you know, it's a community. We're just a bunch of meatheads doing things.
We're just a bunch of gross white guys who like rap music. You
And
know?
trying to get better at holding in our P's.
Yeah.
Because I'm holding in a fucking P.
Dude, I'm going to rock such a hard P.
I'm the worst. People,
Well, you're going that way, I'm going that way, and he can just go through the wall.
no, I'm actually fine now.
No way.
I went twice.
Get out of
I went twice. There
You
was
prick.
I sat here, but when I started moving a lot more is when I was like, I gotta get out of here. I just gotta not even say anything.
I get that pre-show
Leave
anxiety.
it.
I get that pre-show anxiety sometimes too. You know?
I just hope that my primary care physician's not watching this because she's going to call me in and be like, Greg, I'm really worried about you. I think you might have diabetes. And
I saw your interview on the Dirt Bag Show.
I saw you on the Dirt Bag Show. I want to bring you in for a physical.
There was green bottles and brown liquor everywhere.
We're afraid of what you might have contracted during that.
I know you had no mask on, no eye protection. At least Timmy, we got eye protection.
Yeah,
you got your eyes bare ass.
It does look good. You can't even fucking see my eyes.
I can't see my eyes.
You got bare ass eyes.
Oh my god! But I'm just glad the fans came out. You know, that they're really the ones that hold it together, right there.
Dude, and they're
really
just frozen in time and frozen in a moment, and that's what this evening is now. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This is the Dirt Bag Show. Tonzolini Beach Bikini, a.k.a. Sharp Rebar, signing off. Big Rick, Greg Olsen.
Traceways every Friday. Tune in.
Big Ray on the fucking boards, baby.
Big Ray every Friday night. Tune in. 9 p.m. or 10 or 11